all right. As always, first we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakarash.
Giving double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Chaucer's Truth and Rule Will. Shalom to the hopefully elected. Shalom to the Akim and Aquat out there listening and learning. This goes out to the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, the Native Americans, Latino Americans, the so-called African Americans here in America, scattered throughout 4 corners of the world. This is the brother Asha.
Brother Yaya.
Coming to you for another quick one from Great Millstone, Chicago. Camp here in Great Millstone, Chicago. And we're just doing a response to this idiot who's talking about that, Jacob's trouble is not going to happen. And we're going to play a little video, then we're going to get some precepts right quick. We're going to get right into it. First, we want you to hear this video so you can understand what we're getting into.
So, I just went back and forth with a camp here in Atlanta, and it's clear we're not dealing with the same God. So, I just went back and
forth right there, yeah.
So, this fool's talking about we're not dealing with the same God, so go ahead. This fool.
Off the bat, the dude sounds very, effeminate. And off the bat, he already going off, man. He already, not my God, not my Lord. When the Lord don't change, man. We read the same book. This man calls himself a Hebrew Israelite, but we read the same book. We know who the Lord is, man. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So the Lord don't change, man. So that not my God, not my Lord stuff, it don't apply, man.
And this is what these people like to do. You know what I mean? It's so funny that they always want to come and contend with the prophets of the Lord. You know what I mean? Because they have no other platform and nothing else to do. So, but we don't mind rebuking them. All right, we'll play a little bit more.
And it's clear we're not dealing with the same God. Forth with a camp here in Atlanta, and it's clear we're not dealing with the same God. If it wasn't clear before, and it was clear before, but it's really clear now. I guess because the Most High has increased my wisdom and knowledge.
So this dude talking about the Lord opened his eyes, so now all of a sudden he can see. Now all of a sudden he all high and mighty. He high priest, king, God. All of a sudden the Lord opened my eyes specifically, and now I got this understanding. But the Lord put him in that strong delusion, man. The Lord put him in that delusion. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 10. And with all deceivableness of unrighteousness, and them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this cause, Yahweh shall send them strong delusion that they shall believe a lie.
And what he's believing is that he's no more than apostles, elders, who he learned from. You know what I mean? Not remembering who he learned from. So now, these Atwater Israelites is just a joke. All of a sudden, you come out of the woodworks, and now you want to say he only dealing with you. These people are just crazy, man.
Verse 12, that they all might be damned who believe not in the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness, man. So he ain't believe in he did believe, but he just deviated from what the apostle said and not listening, man. Because he think he leaned into his own understanding.
Right. You know what I mean? He leaned into not only to his own understanding, he just one of these stupid ass niggards. So we gonna get back to the video because this is what they all about. This is what they do.
So we're like now, right? So we're like now, like I already knew this, but it's crystal clear now. They don't work for us. It's crystal clear, and we was predominantly talking about Jacob's trouble, and I'm like, hey, we're out of Jacob's. Have we not been through trouble for the past 1,000 years?
And that's pretty much the gist of this fool. He talking about Jacob's trouble, and we not, Jacob's trouble is past, and clearly he doesn't read the scriptures. He doesn't understand that Jacob's trouble is a future prophecy that's unfolding now. You know what I mean? This nigga want to hear smooth things, lies and deceit. Okay. That Isaiah 30 and 10.
I got it.
You know what I mean? This is what he wants. Jake don't want to suffer. They don't want to be accountable. They want to go through there. He think that all these wicked niggas are just going to just walk in and inherit the kingdom, which is just lies and foolishness.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 9. That this is rebellious people, lying children that will not hear the law of the Lord, which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit.
So yeah, he think that we supposed to lie to him and deceive him. We're telling everybody that you're about to go through the worst time that's ever happened on the planet Earth, and this is the Lord culmination of bringing His hopeful righteous elect to repentance and bringing mass destruction and chaos, revealing His true power. You're not about to inherit the kingdom without going through anything. You know, you're not going to gain anything unless you have to work for it. You got to work hard for it. The same thing applies to the kingdom. You got to go through much tribulation to get the kingdom. You got to go through Jacob's trouble. The Lord ain't just going. So what's going to happen to all these sinners, these wicked niggas, all this alphabet lifestyle, all these people, well, killing and still dealing? What's going to happen to them? They all of them just going to get the kingdom? What are you saying? They not going to suffer, be punished, and go through nothing?
God.
And then for those who still need to be vetted, you just, the Lord ain't gonna just turn over the kingdom to nobody without them being vetted. That's common sense. Nigga, ain't nobody gonna deal with this stupid ass nigga. He trying to be somebody's friend without them getting to know him. The scriptures is clear. It says, prove a friend first. The Lord has to prove us. This nigga's retarded. Let's get that, tab was number 4. This is, let's get this, Jacob's trouble so he'll understand what's really about to happen and why it's happening. What's that,
Daniel. Oh, you went to Jeremiah or to Daniel?
let's get the Jeremiah.
Okay.
It's Jeremiah. Go ahead.
This Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it.
So when did this time happen? This is the scripture said this is a time that has, like none other. It's a time of Jacob trouble. We went through the transatlantic slave trade. We went through all of the persecutions. 70 A.D. We were Jerusalem was sacked by the Romans. We was kicked out of there, fled to Africa. Went to slavery. We went through a lot of persecutions. But this clearly says, at last, that day is great. This day has surpassed all of the pain and suffering we went through. This never happened. So according to this clown, he talking about this happened. We like when? When did there become a time like never before? So clearly, we think he's an agent provocateur trying to sway the people away from what's really about to go down.
Verse 8, for it shall come to pass in that day, said Yahweh of hosts, that I will break his yoke off thy neck, and I will burst thy bonds, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
And that's plain. So right now, we're still in captivity. So we're still serving our masters. They still got the yoke of captivity on us. This hasn't happened. Our bonds haven't been burst. We're not free. We still here.
Yeah. And then verse 9, but they shall serve the Lord their God and David their king, whom I will raise up. David not the king right now, man.
Right. So you telling us David here?
Right.
What do we miss?
And our people, most of our people not even serving the Lord. They serving all kind of gods. They serving Allah, Buddha, all kind of gods, man. But it say to serve Yahweh their power. We not serving, most of the people not serving the Lord, man.
This is how you know this nigga's a bug out. It says, but they shall serve Yahweh their power and David their king, whom I will raise up for them. So where is Yahweh? Why are we still here? Why are we still at the bottom? This nigga is an agent. He's a plant. He's a fucking bug out and needs to be destroyed. We tired of these niggas.
So like one more verse. Verse 10. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
So when is this happening? Why are we not at rest? Why are we still afraid? Exactly. Why you can't walk down the street at night? Why you gotta have, protection all the way around? Why is the Centurions around here? Why is all this shit going down if this has happened already? So this nigga is an agent. He's got to be. Because clearly it says all this is gonna happen and none of this happened. We're not in our own land. We still in captivity. We not at rest. We not at quiet, and we still afraid. In this wicked ass kingdom that's ruled by Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man here in America. It clearly says that Yahweh is going to be in charge and David. Esau's still running the planet. So what is this clown talking about?
For sure.
Yeah, get that Daniel.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered every one that should be found written in the book.
So I guess everybody's been saved. You know what I mean? He said Michael.
I was gonna say, I guess Michael just saved us, man.
Michael just saved
I guess
you.
Michael was around.
Yeah, Michael that came down and slaughtered every damn body and killed everything. And we, you know what I mean? And we good. We saved. And we've been delivered.
I ain't see Michael.
I ain't see Michael.
I ain't see
been
Michael.
delivered. You know what I mean? The scripture say, you know, when they come down like a flood, he gonna lift up a standard. You know, the standard hasn't been lifted up. The persecutions haven't happened. Niggas ain't been thrown in jail for this truth. What are you talking about? This nigga's a plain idiot. You know, this clearly says a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation. Even to that same time. I haven't seen it. Michael hasn't came down yet.
And it wasn't slavery because multiple slaveries happened. It wasn't a world war because there was 2 of them already. It's finna be a 3rd one. So it's a time like no other, man.
Right, a time like no other. So this clown is clearly lost his rabbit ass mind, and we gotta check him because he's a goofball. You're like the elder brother Shakari said, a marshmallow, a chump. Trying to deceive people because he don't want that ass whoop. But the Lord chastens who he loves. All of Israel has went off as a nation, and this is the last hurrah. So the Lord is crucially vetting the 1/3. They gonna go through get that Zechariah. They gotta go through the fire, the 1/3. We gotta be tried and vetted to prove that we're worthy of the kingdom. The Lord ain't just let no damn bums in, pedos and wicked ass people who still commit adultery. Get out of here, man. That's not how this game go.
Says Zechariah.
Yeah, 13:9.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, and verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And I will bring the 3rd part through the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, Yahweh is my God.
And that's what we got. That's a part of Jacob's trouble. The Lord taking us, through this purified process. 1/3, though, hope for righteous elect has to be purified. We've got to make it through the trials and tribulations. We got to make it through the tests. We got to make it through everything that the Lord has set up for us. You know what I mean? It says, with the much tribulation shall we enter the kingdom. That's Jacob's trouble. So this, fiery trial is a part of that. We've got to go through it to get. We got to go through it to get to it. Get that Acts 14:22. So this nigga don't understand. You know what I mean? You're not about to get the crown and the glory without going through all the pain, suffering, sorrow that the Lord has set up for you. Because after that, won't be no more tears. So you niggas think you just gonna walk up and knock on the door and get in.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 14 and verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. Exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of Yahweh.
And what is that much tribulation? Much suffering. We got to go through a lot. We got to suffer a lot to get into this kingdom, man. And that's what the Lord has ordained for us, hope for righteous elect. We had to know good and evil. We had to go through it all. And now we've got this is the last mile. You know what I mean? We got to go through grueling pain and suffering to get into the kingdom. This cloud is that's Jacob's trouble. We're in the beginning of those stages now. The famine, you know what I mean? Earthquakes, all this stuff going on, diverse places. It's about to it's going to get more and more ugly. You know what I mean? In order for us to make it. There's no way around it. Get that Matthew 24:21.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and verse. Let me start up. Or just 21.
No, you start right there.
And verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right, and this again culminating with a time that has never been, or nor ever shall be. So this is all part of Jacob's trouble, all part of the purifying, refining us. It's hope for righteous elect so we can make it into the kingdom. and be joint heirs with Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. You're not about to be joint heirs with somebody unless you are proven worthy to be a part of that. You know what I mean? So just scripture say all Israel ain't Israel. We got to go through the straight gate. You can't enter through here without going through it. Any other way you come up, you're just a thief and a liar. If you try to come up some kind of other way. The straight gate is a difficult time. Get that Matthew 7:13 and 14 right quick. The straight gate requires sacrifice, pain, suffering, sorrow, tears. You know what I mean? It requires much more than what this fool is alluding to. So he's a damn clown.
Okay, discipline, man. The grind.
Yeah.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 7 and verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
And straight means difficult times. Jacob's trouble. It's going to be difficult to get in. You know what I mean? It said if the righteous scarcely be saved.
Yeah.
So how you grab that? He said the righteous scarcely going to be saved. So that implies that there's going to be trouble ahead and severe trouble if the righteous is scarcely going to be saved. So this clown just talking about anybody can just roll up to the door and make it and be cool. We don't, it's these niggas have got to be destroyed. Those of the circumcision mouth must be stopped. Teaching things they ought not to. So he's been planted and paid. You got that?
Yeah. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4, and verse 18. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear?
Right. And so he said scarcely be saved. So we barely gonna make it. You know what I mean? The hopeful righteous elect. So how and we gonna barely make it because we go through Jacob's trouble, and the Jacob's trouble is to test your faith. Do you believe in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai or not? This is the final test. Where's your faith at? Do you believe? And a lot of you niggas go like this nigga. He gonna bail out the first sign of trouble. You know what I mean? Because he's anything that he don't want nothing, no pain, no suffering, no. He just want to walk right in.
He gonna take that chip.
He gonna take that chip, right? This nigga don't want to be a part of none of that. He gonna bow down like and take that chip because he don't want to suffer.
He want to believe that Jacob's trouble already happened, so he don't got to worry about it, man.
Exactly. So he ain't got to worry about it. He ain't got to suffer like the rest of these niggas. You know what I mean? Just dumb and goofy. That Revelation 2 and 10. And there's a lot of these clowns like that. But you got to understand, you're not going to get this crown without going through this.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 10. Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
Right. So we going to go through persecutions, suffering, imprisonment, all types of calamities to prove that, you know what I mean, we have the faith to believe in Yahweh Bashem Al Shai and make it out of this. This nigga, you know what I mean, talking about, like he ain't got to go through nothing. He's going to walk right in there, you know what I mean, and get his championship crown like he worked for it. He's going to walk right up there and knock on the door. Let me get that crown. The Lord like, nigga, get away from me. I knew you not.
I know you, yeah.
Yeah, you clown, because you telling people that we already went through a time like never before. The scriptures say it's going to be a time like never before.
And the people believe it. If you go to the comments on that video, they be like, yeah, brother, yeah. So they just believe, they just run along with it, man. Because
right.
they don't want to hear the truth.
They don't want to hear the truth. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to suffer. Nigga, you ain't suffered nothing yet, nigga. We still in the green tree. This nigga, crying already. We already suffered. Nigga, you ain't done nothing. Just sitting there with your motherfucking hat cocked to the side. Nigga ain't never even had this sitting here on dumb mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, get this Revelation 7:14. We ended on that.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 7 and verse 14. And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me,
hold on, let me see.
Verse 13.
Let's see. Hold on. Yeah.
And one of the elders answered,
Yeah, it's Revelation 7:13.
Verse 13. And one of the elders answered, saying unto me, What are these which are arrayed in white robes, and whence came they? And I said unto him, Sir, thou knowest. And he said to me, These are they which came out of great tribulation, and have washed their robes, and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore are they before the throne of Yahweh, and serve him day and night in his temple, and he that sitteth on the throne shall dwell among them.
And that's the point. He said they came out of great tribulation. You know what I mean? And that's the whole point. Jacob's trouble is that great tribulation that they're talking about. You know, their robes was washed white because they stood stiffly for the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. And you know, and without this tribulation, without this persecution, you're not going to get into the kingdom. Period. So this fool talking this nonsense, run up at the mouth. You know, you need to just shut the hell up and just go back and stop. You know, go back, recalculate his mind. You know, trying to exalt yourself. The Lord only dealing with me, as if you have more knowledge than the apostles, the elders, great millstone, who you watched to get the information you got. You went up, you know, and now all of a sudden you're an expert. Another air water Israelite, man. The Lord is smoking y'all. We done with you clowns. The Lord is done with y'all too. Cause y'all, y'all gonna pay for y'all lies. Y'all gonna pay for y'all foolishness. Y'all gonna pay for trying to lead the people astray. Y'all gonna suffer a penalty for that. Okay. Yeah. With that, we hope this edifying. We want to give all praise, honor, glory to
Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai Bahashem Chacharash.
Double honors to the apostles, the elders, great millstone, tells us truth, the rule well. Till next time, Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharallah.
Kwam Yasharallah.
And a Baba Ball.
Baba Ball.